Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise today to join this debate and to address some of the statements that have been made by honourable members in the days we discussed this matter of privilege. Let me start by saying how seriously our government takes matters of parliamentary privilege. We believe there should be no doubt about the fact that members of Parliament should have unfettered access to this chamber and to the entire parliamentary precinct. As Leader of the Government in the House of Commons, I believe strongly in the rights of all members to be present here to represent their constituents. And so any time a member draws to our attention an incident in which he or she was denied that privilege, we must look at it closely and look at what happened. Canadians have sent each of us here to be their voice and to improve the way Parliament works. It is for this reason that earlier this spring I released a discussion paper on the standing orders. It contains ideas on how to modernize the House of Commons to make it more effective, accountable, and transparent. The debate on this motion of privilege has, from time to time, veered into disagreements over this discussion paper. Some of my colleagues across the aisle have drawn certain conclusions about the purpose of the paper. As Government House Leader, I had truly hoped we could start a discussion about modernization at the Procedure and House Affairs Committee. This has not happened, and I regret that. It was always my intention to engage members in a respectful discussion about how we can improve this place. I accept and respect, Mr. Speaker, that members have heartfelt and legitimate views on the important ideas that we have raised for public discussion. I also accept that our disagreements on this matter have had an impact on the work of this House in recent weeks. It is time to get back to work, to focus on what Canadians have sent us here to do, and to chart a path forward. That is what I would like to discuss today. In the last election, we promised real change, to give Canadians a voice in Ottawa, to make the government more accountable in Parliament, and to modernize the House of Commons. Our goal was clear: to better serve Canadians, to make this place more effective and transparent, and to encourage more people from all walks of life to run for public office so that this House truly reflects our country. Canadians responded by electing a Liberal government with a clear mandate to bring change to Parliament. We are committed to acting on that mandate. Yesterday, I informed my Conservative and NDP counterparts on our path going forward. First, we will move ahead with specific commitments from our election platform, all of which will make the government more accountable, not less. This includes 1. A regular Prime Minister's question period, in addition to the current practice. Our Prime Minister has shown it can be done. He can and will answer many more questions in this chamber. We believe Canadians will benefit if this practice applies to future governments as well. 2. Measures to ensure governments are focused to justify their action if they shut down Parliament through prorogation. Government should pay a price if they resort to legislative tricks to avoid accountability. 3. Measures to prevent the inappropriate use of omnibus bills. Parliament should have the power to properly scrutinize legislation that contains unrelated policy changes. 4. Strengthen committees. We all know how important committees are to the work we do here. We need to ensure that they have the resources they need, and we need to change the rules so that ministers and parliamentary secretaries do not have a vote on committees. And 5, financial oversight. Governments have an obligation to ensure MPs have consistent and clear information when they are voting on matters such as estimates. It's time to make this happen. These are the pledges we made to Canadians in the last election. They are changes that will improve accountability in Parliament, and we hope our colleagues on the opposition benches will agree. But we will not give the Conservatives a veto on the implementation of these commitments that we made to Canadians. Mr. Speaker, another question that we had hoped to discuss is Friday sittings. The issue revolves around whether we should continue the practice of half-day sittings here on Fridays or switch it to a full constituency day in our own communities. If we make the change, it would be important to reallocate those hours of debate from Friday sittings to other days or weeks. We will now conduct additional consultations with our caucus on the issue of Friday sittings and reallocation of time, and we expect our colleagues in other caucuses will want to do the same. Mr. Speaker, There were many other new ideas that were in the discussion paper. All of them were offered in good faith. I have now told my Conservative and NDP counterparts that our government does not intend to move forward on those ideas at the present time. We had hoped there would be a willingness to examine the concept of legislative programming to manage time for debating legislation. Unfortunately, that willingness does not exist. And so, Mr. Speaker, it is with regret that I inform my colleagues that under these circumstances, the government will need to use time allocation more often to implement the ambitious agenda we were elected to deliver. This will be done every time with full transparency. As we move forward, we remain committed to strengthening and modernizing Parliament. I will always welcome a dialogue amongst House leaders about how we can work together to make the House of Commons a place where we can better represent our constituents. In closing, Mr. Speaker, let me make one thing clear. Canadians have high expectations of all of us in this place, and so they should. They want a Parliament that holds government to account. They want a House of Commons where political discourse is respectful and debate is constructive. And they want a Parliament that is productive. It's time to get to work, so let's join together to make that happen. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Questions and comments. The Honourable Member for Portage-Lisco.
Well, Mr. Speaker, what Canadians have seen over the last year and a half is a Prime Minister that they can't trust, a Prime Minister who says one thing and does something completely the opposite. They have seen a Prime Minister and a Liberal government that is arrogant, that misleads on a number of occasions. We have a Minister of Defence who has not told the truth and has now given himself credit, Mr. Speaker, for something that he didn't do. We now have a House Leader who is saying that changes are going to be rammed through that will make these ministers and this Prime Minister less accountable. He will only have to be here for 1 hour, 1 day a week when the House is sitting. So, Mr. Speaker, my question for the House Leader is, how can the Canadians trust the Liberals, trust the Prime Minister, on anything when they have said one thing and done something different on so many levels, and now he only wants to be here 1 day a week for 1 hour to not answer questions?
Honourable Government House Leader.
Mr. Speaker, let me be clear. All of the changes that we are recommending will make the government and will allow the government to be held to greater account, not less. And when it comes to the Prime Minister's question period, we have shown that this is possible. This 1 day will be in addition to the other days of the week that the Prime Minister is here. It is not true what the Honourable Member is saying. There is no members in the Liberal caucus that is recommending that the Prime Minister only attend 1 day. Well, we are recommending that the Prime Minister be held to greater account so that not just the leaders of the opposition, but private members are also able to ask the Prime Minister questions and to receive a response directly from the Prime Minister. We believe this will allow the government to be held to greater account. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Questions et commentaires. The Honourable Member for Victoria.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you to the Government House Leader for her remarks. So, is it through you, Mr. Speaker? Are we to understand that the effect of this motion that the government intends to bring in on the vast majority of items that were contained in the discussion paper will be brought into this House, and that the government will, with its majority, ram those changes through against the opposition of recognized parties in this place?
Government House Leader.
Speaker, when we ran in the election, we made commitments to Canadians. We made a commitment to modernize the way this place works. We made a commitment to make government more open, more transparent, and we are committed to delivering on those promises. A motion will be introduced in this place. It will be available and open to debate. Just like the discussion paper, we would like to have a conversation. We would like to talk about these ideas, and I will always continue to encourage all members to be part of that discussion. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Questions and comments. The Honourable Member for Saanich Gulf Islands.
Mr. Speaker, I want to begin by thanking the Honourable Government House Leader for withdrawing the most offensive portions of the proposed discussion paper. I think that's a positive move forward. But I am concerned as we go forward. As she will know, Mr. Speaker, I presented a very substantive response to her discussion paper, suggesting ways that we could reduce the greenhouse gas content. The carbon footprint of our schedule is large, and it's brought about because technology, we're modernizing Parliament, but The society around us is modernized. Parliament is still operating in an antiquated fashion. But we don't want to modernize in the interest of government majorities always getting their way without a real effort at consensus. We also don't want to modernize in a way that increases the number of flights and the cost of the taxpayer. My question is, can we have any sense from the government House Leader as to whether her government, whether all of us together, whether PROC, will have an opportunity to discuss and debate more than those suggestions that came from the government, but, for instance, proposals such as those from the Green Party?
Honourable Government House Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I would like to start by thanking the honourable member for reading my discussion paper and to actually responding with other constructive ideas as well. My door will remain open, and I look forward to working with the honourable member as well as all colleagues in this place. We believe that we can modernize this place and bring it into the 21st century. This government takes the environment and the economy very seriously. We believe they go hand in hand, and we need to make important decisions that are in the best interest of all Canadians. I will continue to engage on this important conversation. When it comes to the commitments that we have made to Canadians, we are committed to advancing those commitments and delivering on those promises. We will continue to work well with all members in this place, and we know that's what Canadians expect, and so they should. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.